So let's get started. And we've been talking about sales and organic attraction and worrying about our finances. So why the heck does this attorney need to be in this group? It's because you need to protect each and every bit of that. So let's start from the beginning. Why should you even worry about protecting your uniqueness? Well, it's really easy. Your uniqueness is you. It's your you factor. It's what makes you successful. If you don't protect that, what could happen? Well, let's talk about it. So here's what happens. Your success, your uniqueness is that special product, method, brand, service, all of those things that you've created in your business that's brought value to your business, that's put you, as Chris Prouty would say, above the rest of the competition. Nobody can come close to what you've done. But here's the problem. As you develop that uniqueness, everybody's watching. And the more successful you become, the more vulnerable you become to copying. It's a fact. Copycats will use your inventions, your methods. They'll even try to attach to you as though they're part of your business, as though you're advocating for their business. And without legal protection, that copying, that sameness will lead to a loss in competitive advantage. Okay, I know what you're saying. I'm a small business. It's not going to happen to me. So here's the deal. Trust me. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay, so now you're like, great, now I'm worried, Randy. Now what can I possibly do? So this attorney, as my clients will tell you, doesn't normally like DIY kind of stuff. But for the next part of what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to give you some actionable items of things that you can do right now, today. As Brian Daly said, if you didn't start early, start now. So here's the first. Step one, get ready, pay attention, put down your phone, stop answering that email. No trespassing signs. No trespassing signs. This is my legalese, my way to talk about it. Lets people know, hey, it's mine. You can't use it, or you can only use it for certain things. Usually it's for personal use. So, okay, if you're in my course, you can use what I teach you for yourself, but you can't then take that and sell it to somebody else. So the first no trespassing sign is a copyright notice. Oh, isn't that amazing that there's one on every one of my slides? Of course there is. Okay, every one of my colleagues on this call should have had copyright notices on their presentations. The second is trademark copyright common law notices. So most people think that until they register a trademark and they get that nice R, they can't let people know it's my property, but they actually can. You can put it for goods, a superscript TM, for services, a superscript SM, on every word, every logo, every phrase, everything unique that you want people to know is yours. Put the no trespassing signs. Next, online legal protection. Your website should have really good terms and conditions. The terms and conditions of your website, that's your contract to every single person who enters that website. That, again, is a no trespassing sign. Everything on this website belongs to me. You can use it for yourself only. I don't guarantee any third-party content. These are all things that go into your terms and conditions. And then you get an easy bonus. You take the link to those terms and you put them on every one of your social media pages, because you want people to know that, again, when they're on your social media interacting with your content, that also is yours and you own it and you believe in it and you protect it. Okay, So that was step one. Step two, do it yourself. Content ownership. The first thing is use your own content. I always say that your own B+ material is better than the risk of using and possibly being sued by an A+ creator. Wherever and always, with very little exceptions, use your own content, your own photos, your own images, your own quotes that you make up, whatever it is, your own blogs. You can do this. Work with people that can help you, like Chris, to understand what it is that will make you unique and show. Don't take others. Okay, but then you say, no, you know what? There's certain content out there that really is just so fantastic and I want to use it. And I know that my clients will get a big bonus by using it. Then get permission. And permission is not, well, it was on a free stock photo site on the web. Permission is not, well, I took that class and they gave me the ebook so I can use the material. Mm-hmm. Permission is knowing who the owner is of the content, having permission to use from the actual owner, and having permission from any person or any brand that is anywhere within it. Lots of if can happen. You can do your second line of defense, but be careful. Okay, the third, super important. Again, we're going to the, if you didn't start early, let's start now. If you have content out there, pictures on your website, social media posts that include wording from somebody else, material that you've shared with people, take it down. Take it down today. This weekend, get a glass of wine, go through your Facebook, even your personal social posts. Delete, delete, delete. Trust me, you're better off taking it down than getting a cease and desist or a lawsuit later on. I've had those clients too. Okay, so all this time I've been telling you what you should do. So now let's talk about the things you shouldn't do, the things where you need a legal expert. You need someone like me or anyone else who really has the experience and can help you, because I've seen that too. So now let's talk about where you need an attorney, where you don't want to do it yourself. And the first is intellectual property. You know, Lois read this bio I have that tells you over 20 years doing this stuff, lots of education, lots of certifications. There's a reason for that. You have to understand that even though you can go on the trademark site and file a trademark application yourself, even though you can file a patent all by yourself, even though you can file a copyright all by yourself, you shouldn't do it. And let me give an analogy that most people get. Say you're going out and buying a house, and many of us have. One of the first things that happens before you close on that house is an expert surveyor is hired. And they survey that property and they determine the metes and bounds of the property, the four corners of it. And you have that survey. And when you go in and you pay the money and you own that house, you have the confidence of knowing exactly what you own. Well, here's the thing. Would you do your own survey? Well, you could. It's really not that hard, right? You've seen the guy out there with the equipment and putting the arrows and the stakes in the ground. Sure, you could. Would you be comfortable? And that's exactly what happens with intellectual property. Even if you're able to file a trademark and it gets registered, if you're able to file a patent on your own and it gets granted, what you own may not be what you think you own. The patent claims define your ownership of a patent. The trademark classes define the ownership of the trademark. The copyright specimen defines the ownership of the copyright. And only an expert can really be sure of that ownership. Okay, one more thing. Contracts and agreements. I see relationships, especially in small businesses, two ways. One are those pieces of paper you sign. You know, you get a DIY off the web, or someone you really want to work with hands you something and says, please sign this. Well, you're in the honeymoon phase. Everything's great. This is no problem. Sure, I'm not going to read all those little small prints. Too confusing. I trust this person, and you sign it. Okay, the other piece, the informal. People go into agreements and relationships by text messaging, by handshakes, by verbal, yeah, let's do this. And you just start, and everything's great until it's not. And whether you have a written agreement or you don't, you have just a verbal or a message or a handshake. In the end, when something goes wrong, and it will, some miscommunication, some misunderstanding, having an attorney at the beginning to show you how to protect yourself and your business is crucial. So I have people come to me all the time after the fact. They're stressed, they're unhappy, they don't understand how this could happen. Don't let that be you. Come to an attorney from the beginning. Work with an expert where it matters. Okay, so now you know how to protect your uniqueness. Make your plan and just do it. And I'll turn it back to Eileen and Lois.
Randy, thank you so much. You know, I think especially in this world where copycats are huge, it is so important to really be on top of it. So I appreciate your perspective. And we're not careful enough as small business people about how to protect ourselves. And when you wake up because you have a problem, that's too late. So thank you for your comments. Eileen, I'll turn it back